Welcome to Survival with Fix. This is probably, we'll see how it goes, but very likely the last episode before day 3000, the World Tour, World Download for everybody, the whole shebang. And I have some work to do. Today we're building small stuff. We're building small stuff. I'm going to be kind of connecting some things that I've always kind of meant to connect and never quite got around to. Like, for example, the way into the ancient city. We're going to do something about this and kind of connect this up to the road. So I think what we'll do, I would like this to be a little bit hidden, not super obvious. I think what we're going to do is we're going to bring this road along here and connect it up to here. And then this will just completely cover it in like trees and very overgrown things, just so like it wouldn't be really obvious for a lot of people to come by. Does that make sense? I think that'll work. Maybe we'll do a little bit of a cliff. It's kind of hard to say until we get going here. I do have a lot of grindy stuff to do this day, but I don't have that many time because we are on day 2920. That means we only have 80, and the sun just went down, 79 days left until the big day 3000, which is a big deal. You know, it's a big deal. There's a bunch of stuff that's going to sort of change once we get to day 3000. Some of that is storyline. Some of that is a new kingdom that we're going to open up the doors to for the 3000 day block. You know, if you don't know, I've been doing basically blocks, and the first 1000 days was essentially New Hope. The second 1000 days was the Arcane Reception Coil in Sandgill. And now the third 1000 days has been the industrial city of Steelport, as well as Gabor down there. Now, neither of those two are done. They're very, very, very large projects. So we're going to get to all those in good time. Like, we'll continue working on those as well. What a beautiful day for terraforming, but we have no time to waste. I got this road done here. I think it's pretty okay. That's the goal, right? Pretty okay. Now, what I do want to do is I want to make this look a little bit more man-made, even though we're going to completely cover this in bushes and trees and all that kind of jazz. So I think what we'll do is we'll use the good old shuffle mod and just come in here and do some of this stuff. So what I want to do is I want to bring in just a little bit of cobblestone. So like, kind of like this. Like, now normally what I would do is I would have to build up this whole thing from scratch, but I'm lucky enough that I kind of got to peel this back and I can just use the existing cliff. So it's actually kind of convenient here. We'll just put in a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and I think that is an okay start for that little cliff. It's very simple, but see how much that little bit of cobblestone really does help. Like, it helps a lot. You know, adding in these little overhangs and stuff like that really does help just an absolute ton for the world. So that's really cool. We may even do a little jut out there. That's kind of cool. Okay, so that's going to be good. Now that's going to be easy to fill in with some leaves and some things like that, I think. Do we want to do a little bit of, yeah, let's do a little bit more of an overhang right there. Yeah, that's cool. All right, then there's another area that we have to deal with, and that's these little holes here and stuff like that. These holes have got to go somewhere else. I don't have that much space. I could always just get some more dirt. I do have tons of dirt left in this world. I mean, if there's any one block that I have probably the most of, it's probably dirt. Dirt and smooth stone are definitely two things I have a lot of. Now, there are a few other little things I want to take a look at before we really move forward. This bank is okay, but if you look just over here out of sight, yeah, there's a little bit of a problem. This road comes up and just does nothing. So this road is also going to be a cliff. So what we're going to do is bring in, again, same exact thing, just cobblestone down, right? This would 100% collapse. So we'll just be doing this. This needs to get out of my hot bar. There we go. Okay, so let me do some work here, and maybe we should time-lapse it, even though it's raining. Unfortunately, I am totally out of oak saplings. I can't believe it. I don't know how it happened, but yeah, I am completely out. So I'm going to have to go get some. Now, luckily, I just did an oak farm, but look at that field. That field's not even done. Yeah, we have a lot to go. I feel very, very rushed this episode. Like, I feel like, oh, crap, there's so much that's not going to get done. And yeah, I know there's things like, obviously, this tunnel is not going to happen this episode, and that's totally fine. I don't expect to have everything done, but you know, I'd like to have some of it done. So that's kind of bland, isn't it? The front of that. Yeah, maybe a little bit. We might work on that later on. But for right now, let's grab my fortune hoe and get working on my new oak farm. All right. right, one thing done. I have another one next to go, and that's actually filling this field. I cannot explain why this field was never done, but it never was done, so we're gonna do that now. But I do want to talk briefly here while I have your attention. It's a weird thing to say on a YouTube video. While I have your attention, I do want to just mention I'm changing up my workout routine after going very progressively, slow and methodically through my main 3 lifts until they got heavy, which is basically now. I've just been doing barbell bench press and pull-ups, assisted pull-ups, and this thing, it's called a trap bar or a hex bar. It's basically like a deadlift squat hybrid bar, and now it's getting pretty heavy. I'm up to about 240 on that for the deadlifts and 135 for the bench presses. And I try to add either 1 rep or 1 pound to every lift. The deadlifts I'm adding 5 pounds, but you know what I mean. I try to add just a little bit every single time, not a lot, not go to failure, just try to stretch out as long as I can possibly make progress. Well, it's getting pretty heavy, and I think I'm hitting the point where doing the exact same workout 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, is not really enough to keep up with, right, as it's starting to get heavy. So, excuse my phone, so I'm now adding in, basically, I'm only going to be deadlifting on Wednesdays now, and Monday and Friday are going to be this routine. It's going to be bench and chin-ups or pull-ups, the exact same as it was before, but then I'm going to be adding bent over rows, dumbbell rows, and the other one, shoulder press. So if you don't know, I hurt my shoulder last year. I slipped and fell on the ice, and I dislocated my shoulder, and let me tell you, dislocating a shoulder is no joke. It was not a quick and easy experience at rehab. I'm still like not 100%. So that being said, I decided I wanted to get back into some shoulder exercises specifically, and I am taking it really easy. So I started on Monday, which was yesterday for me, and I only did 20-pound dumbbell shoulder press. And I gotta tell you, it wasn't hard. It wasn't hard at all doing it in the moment, but I will admit that today when I tried to wash my hair and put my hands up over my head, I felt it absolutely on my hurt shoulder, on my right shoulder, not my left shoulder. My left weaker shoulder was totally fine, but my right shoulder, yeah, it felt like I was doing something that I have not done since my accident. So that being said, I'm going to be very, very careful. I really am excited about getting back into sort of the regular workout routine. I'm really thrilled about that, and I'm thrilled about my weight loss. I weighed in at 217 today, 217.9, but still 217, and I'm really happy about it. So, you know, I'm like 52 pounds down now from my max, and feeling really good. I'm eating really healthy, eating keto. I need a few more calories today, so I just polished off 4 ounces of cheese, which was delicious, and just no carbs at all. If you don't know what that is, it's no carbs, like no bread, no sugar, no wheat, nothing at all. It's meat, cheese, more meat, more cheese, you know, like that's and leafy vegetables whenever I can, whenever I have them. I have a big bag of spinach that I eat occasionally whenever I can add it to an omelet or something like that. Lots of eggs, all that kind of stuff. You know what it is. If you don't know what it is, you can Google it really quickly. Anyway, yeah, so things are going really well. Thank you for those of you who have said really kind words about, you know, me trying to stick with it and trying to really get back to my sort of original low weight from about 10 or 12, probably 12 years ago now. And yeah, it's been good for me mentally too. You know, if you have not worked out in a while or you've let it go for a bit and you're struggling mentally, I can tell you that it absolutely does help. You know, it kind of turns your sort of frown upside down, if you will. You know, it kind of gets you have a little bit more of a sunny outlook on life. And if you know that, I want to make sure that I am really keeping an eye on and all that stuff. So yeah, the extras thing has been going really great. I've been really enjoying it, really having a fun time trying to constantly beat my most recent best, and it's been fun, but a little bit of a personal challenge too. Okay, I feel good. We finally got this done. I cannot tell you, it's been like a year. I mean, I think it's actually been probably like literally a year, probably, since I didn't do this field for whatever reason. I think I'm going to continue working on this part of the road right here. Since this is such a major road leading between Steelport and New Hope, I figure we should have something nice there. I guess while we're talking about finishing things around this area, here's something that I haven't finished. this tower. Look at this. Okay, so yeah, we need to work on just at least putting in like a floor minimum, if not more. So let's start with that, and then probably what I'll end up doing is, I don't know. Do I want to do what I want to do like this, just to give it a little bit of oomph, something? It doesn't really matter all that much, I guess. I just, I don't want to have this open, because if you are flying over, if you're up in that balloon, whatever, you just see like, oh, this is just literally nothing. So, you know what, maybe I should get some torches down there so this doesn't turn into an unintentional mob farm, perhaps. I don't know. Yeah, all right. So I got a bunch of towers to finish. If you look around, there's this guy, and there's a bunch over there, like out of render. Yeah, I got to finish all these towers up. And I think what I want to do is maybe use some iron bars for windows or something. I imagine I probably have. Yep, that's still working. My first iron farm in this world is still chugging along. I mean, I have so much iron over at Steelport way over there, but yeah, we'll do just fine. I love that soccer stadium. I got all these done and they look pretty good. A very small little thing. Now I do want to add some bars, but before I do that, I know what the next thing I'm going to want to do, and that's going to require a lot of wool. Unfortunately, I don't really have a lot of wool saved up. Yeah, not much at all. I do have to check. Let's see how this. She's going to put him up in that balcony right up there where it's fairly safe to live in, and then just let him AFK while I do some other things, and then when I come back, hopefully, maybe I'll have enough wool. I hope. We'll see. I don't know how fast this thing goes. It's not super fast. All the windows are put in now, and I made sure that I had torches. If you can see, it's shining very gently on the inside of those, just so, there's a little bit of light, a little bit ambiance at night. And yeah, these towers look a lot better, a lot more finished. I just kind of forgot to finish that. Now, what I want to do around this area over here, while I'm still waiting for more wool to be done, sheared over there, is I want to work around my iron farm, because I never worked on this area, and you can see this is just nothing. There's just a lot of nothing here. Now, the problem is I can't build houses here. I can't build houses because you see how the iron farm's up there in the air? If I build a house here, then iron golems will possibly spawn on the roof. I guess I could make it all non-spawnable blocks, but that's a big pain, and I don't need necessarily more houses in New Hope. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make some nice flower gardens around here. Just like a nice little path that we're just going to wander around here. Maybe I'll do some stairs from the soccer stadium up here, and then just like a nice little windy path, and only 1 block high, which should keep it. This is part 3 of Carl Winter's story. I think there's one more part left. If you missed the first 2 parts, you can actually jump in right now, or you can go back and check out the last 2 parts. They are embedded in the last 2 episodes of Survival with Fix. Or I have a playlist of just the lore segments exclusively. I think it's called Fixiverse Lore. It's easy to find on my channel. It's one of the top 3 playlists on the front page. So if you want to check it out, if you missed any episodes, sometimes you might want to just catch the lore to just catch up so you don't miss anything. Anyway, without any further ado, Carl Winter's story, part 3. I'm telling you, it wasn't a zombie, Carl said to Sally. Come on, Carl, she said. What else could it be? I don't know, but living on the farm, I've seen more than my share of the undead. This was something else. How do you know? Sally asked. She wanted to believe him. She did like Carl after all, but walking in the middle of the night, one's imagination could play all kinds of tricks. I don't know. Look, I saw its eyes. It wasn't a brainless slab of flesh. It was smart. Maybe it was one of the town kids waiting to play a trick on you. No, Sally, look. I don't even want to think about it. How was your day? The 2 budding lovers sat and talked for hours. Sally had just finished her shift at the tavern, and Carl was exhausted from working all day in the fields. Still, though, young love feels no exhaustion. Carl knew the following morning was coming soon, and he would have to make his way back, across the bridge, where the monster lurked. After avoiding for as long as they thought possible, the 2 said their goodbyes, and Carl started down the road. If he hurried, he still might get 2 hours of sleep before Paul woke him up to start his chores. Despite Carl's worst fear and still smelling the pork Mother had made hours earlier, Carl slipped in and quietly latched the door behind him. As he turned, he heard the sound again. His blood ran cold instantly as he heard the same sound from under the bridge. I think this looks really, really nice. I really, really like it. Now, I'm going to be adding a couple more things. Hey, you know what could happen here? Maybe, should we do a tree? I just pressed the wrong button. So here's what I want to do. In this path, first thing I need to do is add in some stairs. But in this path over here, I learned this from Dallas, who I've been watching a lot of recently. And one of the things that he does that I think is really interesting is he started putting these azalea trees in the ground. And I just think it's a really cool look. So I'm going to do some of that after I get these sort of pads in here. The other thing that I can't remember who told me that, was it, maybe it was Drama, who said, hey, don't forget oak is a pretty good choice for path work. I always use spruce, but yeah, oak is actually, I think, a better choice for this, actually. It kind of blends in with the path block. You know, I don't often use path block whenever I'm doing these paths. It's a fairly new thing for me. Usually I would use like a combination of maybe coarse dirt and whatever, things like that. But yeah, I think it does help. So I'm gonna come back in here and just bring in some of this and just kind of put, oh, no, I can't put that there. So I have to use like dirt, I guess. Yeah, I have to put dirt there. Yeah, I can't plant it on that, but that's okay. And then also the other thing I have is I brought in, I have moss, and I have these moss carpets too. So I can really like sort of enhance this by giving it a little extra layers. I think that's a super cool thing. It just adds something, right? We can even do like there. That's kind of cool too. I like that. It kind of hovers a little bit because you know what? It does hover. It hovers a little bit too much. Oh, and it doesn't break path block? What? I never knew that. Did you know that? I don't know. I like half wild, you know, tended by the city gardeners, right? It does make a nice difference though, for sure. God, there, dandelion. I don't want you. Next thing I'm doing is I'm kind of going through town here and just bone mealing some plain empty grass areas, trying to get rid of all the flowers. Occasionally I leave a flower. Like, I think I'm going to leave this blue one right here. I just think it looks really nice. What do I have? Do I have a whole stack? I do have a whole stack. And then also I'm planting some of these azalea trees. Azalea trees are really growing on me. I didn't used to like them actually, but I'm becoming a believer in them. I don't know if I love them yet, but I haven't used them very much. I thought, like, why not? It'd be a nice thing to add here. And yeah, the leaning and the half flowery, half regular, I think for a procedure generated tree, it's a pretty darn good one. I do really like it. So yeah, so just kind of going through town and just adding in little bits, mostly low grass, occasionally leaving a high grass, but not very often. And just trying to give a little bit of life, a little bit of movement, a little bit less, oh man, I'm going to say it again, a little bit less Minecrafty and a little bit more sort of organic life. And it's coming along. Like, look how plain this is versus, if you look up there, you see the grass. I think it does really help. Yeah, leave a couple tall ones. While we are working on finishing stuff, check out this old build that just never quite got finished. Yeah, look at this thing. This is supposed to be a big giant field, or I was thinking about maybe doing like a windmill or something up here, but honestly, that doesn't really make sense because they would never put the windmill way up here, although I guess wind would be a little better because then they have to bring all the wheat and stuff uphill. That doesn't really make sense at all. They would definitely have it down sort of along the road. Ugh, these houses. Ugh, yeah, okay. Well, anyway, one thing at a time. We got to knock out this field. So, man, look at this. Oh, I love this. I love this area. Oh, I love this entire world. I love it. I'm so inspired. It's all I want to do. I just want to play this world, and I never want to do anything else with my life. I just love it. It's so much fun. All right, well, I'm going to get to work. And shall we do a wheat farm planting time lapse? I guess we shall. I cannot even express how long I had worked on this field. Like, I still have lots more projects, and we are on day 2944. So we have about 56 days left. I haven't yet decided if I'm going to do all of those in this episode, or maybe split this one in half. We're getting a little long, so this may be part 1 of 2 of finishing the push to day 3000. It's time for the question or comment of the day from Duzio. Deuce Zio, perhaps, maybe. They say, since the underground city was built to give New Hope shelter, we could call it Reliance, Prospect, or Endurance. You know, those are really good options. All three of them are actually really nice options. I think I am going to go with Reliance. I like that because the people down there would be, you know, relying on that area to give them shelter and protect them while the zombie horde was invading New Hope here. Now, they are since out, of course, but some people have decided to continue living there, and Mr. Grady is kind of in charge, though things aren't going real well for him right now. He was infected by a zombie. He cut off his own arm to save himself, but then the Avon people, when they found him to save him or something that we'll get into later, they attached a zombie arm, giving him a total of 4 limbs, which to them, the number 4 is absolutely sacred. So having 3 limbs is kind of like an affront to God, if you will. So they attached a zombie limb to him, and it's not doing great things to him. So we're going to find out later what it is. But yeah, from now on, that is going to do it for me, though, today. I really feel great about what we did. You know, we basically finished New Hope, finally, after all this time of it not being done. We finished a lot, or most of the farmland, down to the south, heading towards Sandgill, and we finally named our ancient city. I have one more episode before day 3000, where I'm going to basically sort of dot all the I's and cross all the T's, and make sure that this world is ready for the world download coming at day 3000. Hope you're all excited. I'll see you all next time from Survival with Fix.